yeah, obviously, like when
Briefly.
you're at Forest, it's like a brief connection with someone is like, you know, a situation where you're probably not gonna remember it. You know, like.
Is that where I met you the first time you're saying?
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Is it?
Forest? Yeah.
Yeah, maybe you're right.
That's so crazy. We were all there. Was that your first festival?
2015.
Was that your first festival ever?
First time ever going camping. Ever sleeping in a tent.
Yeah, but was that also your first music festival?
Yeah. Well, first camping festival.
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
lot of hers.
Yeah. That was like one of the first times I met Taylor too. I think it was the first time I met her.
No shit.
Yeah.
That was a magical year, bro.
Yeah.
That shit was
Me and
crazy.
Paul dancing in that Sango tent.
That shit-
Did I ever tell you guys a story about what happened with my phone?
Mhm.
No, really? For real?
Share it.
For real?
It was the night. It was the night of Bass Nectar, actually. Fucking. I think it was Odessa that was playing on a different stage before Bass Nectar went on.
Odessa played the day before.
Was it the day before? Or maybe it was the night of.
The night before, basically.
I think it was. Who was. Skrillex?
Yep.
Skrillex?
Skrillex played a different day too.
The day before Bass Nectar, right?
I think
Oh,
so.
I seen Skrillex. I remember that.
Yeah, because it was Odessa, Skrillex, then Bass Nectar, and
Dude,
then last night was,
what a
It
lineup!
was fucking
Right.
crazy.
Dude, that Odessa show was gnarly. Bass Nectar was dope too. That was the set when I told you I seen D Talk right after that set ended. He was like, "Oh my god, dude, Bass Nectar just changed my life." I was like, "Oh my god."
I don't know what
So-
you're talking about right now.
Yeah, I was like,
Ba-
that was dope. No,
basically-
that was a dope show. I don't really
Yeah,
remember.
let's hear this
it.
phone story. Kind of drifted.
Sorry, no, you're good. I'm
Out of
pulling up
his
the
notes.
video. So it was whatever that night. It was after Odessa. I'm almost positive. And I were at the same stage. He calls me up, and it was after like basically I don't know. It was after he had like a pretty bad conversation with Jenny, I guess. All right, so he was like kind of feeling shitty. Where he's like, I need to see you, man. I need to like somebody to fucking pick me up. He was on like whatever fucking acid mushrooms, whatever the
Everything.
fuck, everything.
He
that
called
day.
it Jedi flipping.
Yeah, or Mark
Everything.
flipping, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
What of everything?
He was on like all sorts of shit, bro, and I'm like, so he calls me. He's like, Pat, where you? I'm like, I'm fucking at the back of this stage. He's like, a dozen. He's like, no way, me too. Where you at? So I'm like, all right, meet me on the road. Like, you know, get away from the people, meet me on the road so I can find your ass. So fucking, we go towards the forest. You know what I mean? And then fucking, I see him, and we dart towards each other, bro, and like we fucking. I mean, we're both tripping. I'm on mushrooms, so like
Yeah.
we're fucking feeling insane. We literally like fucking sprint towards each other, hug, and we're like dancing around as we're hugging. It's fucking ridiculous. Like we're like little kids. Long story short, my phone falls out of my pocket, and I didn't realize it till we get to the next stage. So I'm like, fuck, that bitch is long gone, right? So whatever. I'm like, whatever. Charge that shit to the game. You know what I mean? This is an incredible weekend. I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna let that ruin my mood. Like it's just a fucking phone. It'll turn up in Lost and Found or fucking whatever. Charge that shit to the
Charge
game.
it to the game.
So go through the night, bro. We fucking have an insane night. I get back to my tent at like fucking 4 in the morning or some shit after just wandering in the forest for several hours after whatever. Next morning, my fucking boy Brad comes into my tent, throws my phone in my lap. He's like, "Here, you fucking degenerate. Here's your phone." I'm like, "How the fuck did you get this?" Look at this video. I fucking never if it loads.
You'll get your phone, don't worry, guys. Hey, your name? His name's Forrest. Hey, Happy Forrest. He's gonna be like, how the fuck does this guy know my name? I called your mom. She's gonna tell you to call me. Yeah,
Called your mom.
Damn.
So this guy basically found my phone. Hey Siri, call mom. Called my mom. My mom was like, "Hey, well, I don't know who this is, but your son lost his phone at a music
That
festival."
kid was on some drugs too while he was doing that.
Hey,
He was
of
like
course,
in tune.
of course.
He was just in tune.
He was like, "Get your phone back. Don't worry." So he called my mom. My mom told him that I was with Brad, and my mom called Brad and Brad called him and fucking made up with him and got my phone.
Damn.
That's
And I was just
epic.
like, "What the fuck, bro? That's insane."
What a
Those kids
homie
are-
though for doing
Dude,
that. That's
Electric
gangster.
Force is so dope. Like
Yeah.
that's the first time I ever experienced the loving culture like that.
Yeah.
The conservatory was my favorite stage by far, bro.
Oh yeah.
This is where Autograph played, and like that set was fucking.
Yeah. It's such a vibey, like small, intimate.
Oh,
stage.
they're the one in the forest.
The one that was like surrounded
That's like
by
the most
wood, yeah.
beautiful.
I've seen a
stage.
couple of sets.
I
of
think
it.
so.
Yeah.
It's not far from the biggest.
It's
Right.
low key.
Yeah.
It'd be dope to be at like an underground big performer stage there, like a little throwdown.
Right?
Cause like only like 1,000 people can be at that stage probably.
And they had that like structure that was all lit up and
Yeah, you
crazy
can
designs that you
walk
can
and
walk
crawl
around
up in
and
there and chill.
It's I mean that's the only camping music festival I've ever been to, but from everybody I talked to there who had been to like all the music festivals say that Forest is their favorite. And that's the best one. I mean, as far as venue goes.
No, that's
So-
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Epic story.
they kind of got a good logo. Can't complain. I heard Okeechobee's dope too.
Where's
Yeah.
that?
Florida. It's like on the beach down in Florida. What city is it in? Okeechobee, Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
Typical Forest vibe. Someone.
Yeah, it's like EDM and hip hop though. So
Oh,
like
nice.
Kendrick was there 2 years ago.
Like some alternative
Ray
music too,
Smyrna.
folk music,
Yeah, they have.
jam band.
Also, just
So
like
they had,
Forest,
like-
super diverse.
Yeah,
lineup.
they'll
I
have
went-
rock
Forest
song,
wasn't.
rock band.
There wasn't much hip hop at Forest though. It was
No.
mostly-
It was
they
like
have
Waka
they have like
Flocka.
one at Forest, yeah, and Waka Flocka is not even fucking hip hop
Yeah.
at this point. He's like that. He still DJs up there and does some shit. He's like Lil Jon, you know.
Erica
Like,
Badu does that too. I seen her DJ a whole set. Everyone thought she was gonna sing. Everyone got pissed she didn't sing.
Really?
Yeah, because it just said Erica Badu. I didn't say DJing. Erica
Is it
Badu.
DJ set or whatever?
Yeah, it's different, but I can understand it from their viewpoint. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just getting up there. This takes a lot of energy. You're giving all your energy to like tens of thousands of people at once. It's a lot.
Yeah,
Shit.
we're excited to get to see the hometown homies, hang out, go to Forest.
Are you
do the
recording
whole
right now?
thing again? Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't realize we were fucking.
Yeah.
That's the best part. It's because
Yeah, you wouldn't have told that story like that if it wasn't for that.
Oh, where?
yeah, that's the best part. And the cool thing about these things is like,
We don't even have to put that in there. We can cut
No,
whatever out.
yeah. yeah, and the best
But
thing
we're
about
blanking all the names out, so there's not going to be names, so it
Yeah.
doesn't have to be attached to anything. You know
Gotcha,
what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well-
Too, and I also want to make it so that way, like, if there's no names attached, we can really get in on some like shit that people don't talk about,
Yeah.
shit that like you just don't talk about. So, like, it ever
Like
gets to that point,
what? Dun dun dun.
like what we were talking about, like how fucking like. Again, like the whole Time magazine and the Washington Post thing. The Time magazine where they said that girl that was crying, standing in front of Donald Trump, was never separated from her mother in the first place. Like, Time magazine put out this cover and it blew the fuck up about the illegal child
And
immigration.
everyone was tweeting
And
about
everyone
it.
was like, "Fuck you, Trump! Fuck you!" And just so you guys know, I'm not a Trump supporter. I fucking hate politics. But this is just a situation. So everyone's like, "Fuck you, Trump! Fuck you, Trump!" With this little baby crying, and Trump's looking down at her, and the caption says, "Welcome to America." But the Washington Post fires back at Time magazine and was like, "Yo, like, the proof is that girl was never separated from her family. Like, she was just crying. You know, like, that's not even a legitimate post." So just like things like that, where it's like, if the Washington
You
Post,
manipulate shit.
the Washington Post is like calling you out, but Time magazine's also saying something. It's like, who the fuck can we trust? Like, why is that even a situation in our country where someone is lying like bad
It's because
about?
they all want their agenda, and it goes both ways too. Is the scary thing. Like it goes Republican and Democrats. It seems like they're just fighting against each other's viewpoint. It's
Right.
like neither of those viewpoints are right. They're both like hold themselves back to a certain extent. So it's
Yeah.
like
But what they don't understand is like that's twisting how people think, and it's twisting what people are, how people act.
and the reality
doing
of the
that.
world
And-
consciousness.
Yeah, like
Like that's all that it is what we think it is.
Yeah. Have
Like,
you seen
that's fucked up.
the articles and shit that came out that, like the school shooting, like the kids that talk about the school shootings are actually just actors,
yeah,
paid actors.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there's this
And, like,
one.
I don't
Use,
think all
like,
of
the same
them,
kid
though.
for
I don't
multiple
think all of
different-
them.
So maybe
you think
not all
those
of them.
Parkland kids are? I think those kids might be real.
Not all
Maybe
of them, but there's
not,
some
though.
of them. Like Sandy Hook, I heard was completely staged.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% staged.
Yeah, that one did seem fishy. That one was like one of the
That was
first
one of the
conspiracies.
first. And the reason why they're doing that is because here's why like that's such a beneficial thing to fake is because when, and this is just what I've heard. Again, like the goal of this podcast isn't to fucking let you guys think that we know everything. It's just what we hear.
We're
want
just
you-
talking. We
want
don't
you
even
guys-
know what we think
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah,
all
we
the
want,
way.
we want you guys to hear our perspective and just like take it for what it is, right? So, I heard that the reason why they fake those things is because when those communities are brought under that much stress and fucking problems, people donate to the communities and they generate millions and millions and millions of dollars for these shootings. So like the GoFundMe, the raise awareness, the the donation celebrity donates to this community and city, then they generate shitloads of fucking cash flow, and then they're rich as fuck after these shootings.
That's fucked if that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, that's what
Actually, that's a good point, and I've never considered that. A lot.
Me either.
You feel like a lot of it's about gun control.
yeah.
You feel like one way or the other, one side is trying to sway either
You
for
gotta-
more gun
you
control,
gotta-
and
Yeah,
You
that's
gotta
what
think
they
ban
do.
on guns, whatever the fuck ever,
right, and it could
or
be that,
that
too.
teachers should be able to arm themselves and be
Yeah.
able to protect their students or whatever the fuck. So there's two sides of the argument. So I've heard the gun control side of it, but I've never heard.
It could
like,
be a
the
combination
influx
of both, though. So the government could be saying, like, look, we want gun control. They can go into these small communities and be like, look, like, if you stage the shooting, and again, like, who knows that this is fucking happening, but it's possible. Like,
It's
Right.
very
you go,
tight-knit.
You go
it
into
is.
these communities and you say, look, like, we want gun control. We want you to fake this shooting, and what you can do is you can post a GoFundMe. Oh, our family lost whoever, and then people are going to fund that loss. Like, earlier today, one of my buddies.
It's all about who profits, right?
Yeah, like one of my buddies passed away today, and obviously like he passed, or one of my buddies' older brothers passed away unexpectedly today at 31, and obviously like that shit sucks, right? So they created a GoFundMe page because that family needs funds. Like he's about to have a baby, his wife's pregnant, and it's a sad story, but they need funds. So when people see that, like heck yeah, they're gonna support. Like within 24 hours, there's $10,000 funded to this family, which is amazing. Like
Right.
people should do that. But when you think that there's like a massive shooting or like a big problem, then everyone's gonna see it and more people are gonna fund it. So it makes it more possible for these things to happen, and it makes it easier for these people not to say shit when they're generating all that kind of revenue when these things happen.
Right.
It just takes one broke ass motherfucker who's never had any money before say, look, I'll take $3 million to fake this shit for sure. I'm living off food stamps right now. Fuck it, like who knows?
Yeah.
So it's fucked up, but it's like it is what it is. And if there's so many facts,
That's really fucked if that's why they do it. I never even thought that was an option. Like I've always heard like the gun control, like they're doing it so they can either take away all of our guns, so we're
Right.
defined. Like a lot of people think America's about to like kill everyone. Like I think
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy though, because like Australia and shit doesn't have any guns, and like none of them are. There's no.
They're chilling.
There's
They're
no
cool.
governments really taking people over. Well, I guess China and North Korea kind of like tell their people what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been taking away freedoms and privileges and rights, like starting with the Freedom Act, the Patriot Act, the Information fucking Act, fucking. I mean, and they passed martial law, so that's already done, which is fucked. And yeah, like you said, if
It's
they take
just
away,
slowly evolving.
if they
into
take
more
away our
control,
guns,
yeah.
bro, they say like the whole two-party system thing. They say it's easier to control people when when they're divided. So if mass control of
And there's
masses
only
what the fuck is
two.
really what they're after,
Yeah.
and there's never been a third party, and there's a reason why there hasn't never been a third party. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy. I've heard that, bro. Heard that. There are those conspiracy theorists think that, and that, they're out to kill everybody or whatever the fuck. But
And I don't know if
in the
it'll
history
ever
of the
get
world,
that
we are the
bad.
most violent country.
Yeah, and I don't know if it'll ever get to
Maybe.
that bad
Great
where the
Britain
government
kind
wants
of
us
was bad,
like.
too.
Yeah, well, who's in their pocket?
I don't think that the government wants to kill us. I just think that they want to like maintain the power and make sure that the power is always where they want it to be. So if they can take away the guns, that's going to make them feel better about themselves at the end of the day, about where the power can go. And if the people have a say in anything, then they can increase, or
True.
they can increase how much influence or power they put
They
on
can
us.
just keep pulling back slowly. is what
I don't
you're
ever
saying.
think that they're that corrupt. I think that these people who are in power are just money savages, and they want power and they want control, and that's what gets them hype at the end of the day, and that they're sick in the mind. But they don't want to do like physical harm. All these royal families and these elite classes and these people who have substantial amounts of power and billions of dollars, it's like they just never want to lose that. So for you homies that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, watch Zeitgeist, the movie first, because that shit will open up your mind a lot about like religion and how the banks used to operate back in the day and how the Great Depression really happened. And these aren't like biased, skeptical ass people reviews. These are like actual situations, and they bring statistics and share exactly what happened, so that
Yeah.
way you can see for yourself like what is really
They show
going
you
on.
options though. It's not 100%
Yeah.
like this is going on. It's like these are some facts to consider type of thing.
It's like a good non-biased review.
Yeah.
But it's just things that like us as people need to know about, And if we continue to act like we're blind and act like everything's all good and that everything is how it's supposed to be, nothing's going to get better and it's just going to get worse.
Yeah.
You know, so.
But we have to admit how much a lot of life has become better. Like we have it way better than our grandparents had it. Like the world we live in today, like back in the Bible and stuff, it's like God said you can have slaves, like in the Bible. So it's like that's not that uncommon thing. And like in today's society, barely any countries have slaves, and especially not in America.
Yeah, no, it's definitely gone.
So-
It's definitely gone a lot. Definitely gotten a lot better, for sure. Like we live in a.
We still have far to go though.
Yeah, it's. You know, I just think too. It's like maybe even the government knows that, but I also think that too. If you try to change too much in a society, it can cause chaos. So maybe like. The government is a bunch of good people. Who knows? And maybe they're just trying to gradually, right?
Nobody even wants to consider that.
It's a hard comment to swallow. But like, maybe that's the situation, and they're just trying to gradually make things better because a huge change in society can throw a whole society off. Like, who fucking knows?
So this is a funny topic because I actually had this exact thought not too long ago, a couple days ago. So yes, I agree that while living standards, technology, whatever, society has advanced greatly, no doubt about it. Civilization has come in an covered an insane amount of ground in fucking just a matter of 100 years since the Industrial Revolution. You know, relatively speaking, before that we went, you know, thousands of years kind of relatively unchanged.
Yeah.
But as far as society and civilization, but has quality of life gone up? We Americans especially are the hardest working people on the planet. We work fucking 50, 60, 70 hours a week, 2 jobs sometimes, don't take enough vacation, and don't dedicate enough time to ourselves, our personal mental health. And mental illness is a huge problem in this country and all over the world, really.
Yeah.
So do you think...
We're like cogs in a machine.
Yeah,
almost.
so do you think that while, yes, civilization has advanced and living standards has gotten far better, people aren't dying from diseases and polio and fucking whatever, sure, advancements in society and technology have brought living standards a great way, but has quality of life gone up? Are people happy?
Yeah,
That's the question.
So that's a fucking dope question. So think about it this way.
A lot of people aren't.
It could be
Most
yes.
of the
It
people
could
aren't,
be.
if we're being
It could be
honest.
no, but the opportunity to make it a yes is much greater than what it was back in the day. So the fact that we can get out of our situation a lot easier because of how information is passed down to us by like getting on your iPhone and YouTubing something, to where back in the day they didn't have that option. So maybe the quality of life hasn't gone up since people have gotten, or since, you know, time has gone by, but the opportunity to get your life up is much greater than what it would be back in the day.
For smart people.
For
though.
smart people,
But if you're
yeah.
not smart, they set up booby trap your iPhones and laptops and everything and TVs with just distraction. It's like to
Yeah.
make you as addicted as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you're
It's a lot
It's
a
easier
lot
to get
easier
caught.
to fall in.
It's
Yeah, for
easy
sure.
to get trapped in a loop. And there's more drugs are more accessible than ever too. So like you can really get yourself to the bottom of the food chain, staying out in front of the Capitol building real quick out here if you like fall in a bad loop.
Yeah, exactly. And for those of you that don't understand what staying out in front of the Capitol building is, people in Denver, literally hundreds, and I'm not even exaggerating, it's hundreds of people every fucking day just camp right out in front of the Capitol building, and stay there and sleep there like it's a big festival, you know, like they don't move.
Like it's a big festival.
They are. It's sad. It's like these people are like camping. They got their carts. Trash is everywhere, and like that's just what it is. You know, it's like the system is.
It's the reality.
It's the system is either failed them, or they never got a chance, or they just didn't want to take the chances that they were given. You know, so for those of you who maybe feel like you're stuck or that you don't really have much going for you, understand that you're not stuck and that you have an opportunity to get out of the situation you're in if you choose to just be more conscious about what you're putting into your mind and your body. So like if you can YouTube anything and learn anything you want, you're excited about something, or if you don't even know what the fuck you're excited about or good at, like YouTube it. And if you're good at like talking to people, YouTube things that, you know, talking can do for you to get you a job or something. You know what I'm saying? Like just figure out what you're good at and YouTube it, and then get really good at that, and then now you're
Just YouTube
And for real,
YouTube University.
I promise.
Get your 4-year.
I promise I learned more in 1 year on YouTube than I did in 6 years that I was in college.
Oh, definitely.
6
You were
fucking
in
years
college
in
for
college.
6 years?
I've been to 3 different colleges.
I always tell people that I learned more in my first year out of college than I did in my 4 years in it.
And he graduated at the University of fucking Michigan. What a
And when I say learn more, I say like I learned more about myself.
yeah.
Like
yeah,
maybe I
but
didn't
that's the
acquire
most
more
important
knowledge, but you learn more about the world, the workings of the world. You learn more
But
about yourself.
that's the more important part, though.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, like, if you know too much knowledge and you don't know how to apply it, or you don't know yourself, it's like, well, you're fucked.
Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
know how useful that knowledge can be.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be learning something to use that knowledge with. It's like learning a language. The best way to learn a language is to go to that country, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, you're forced to. You have no choice but to
yeah.
learn and evolve.
You got one option: succeed.
I have a question posed to you because this goes back to what we were talking about earlier with you said the food chain, right? The other day I was watching fucking A Life, the Nature's documentary series, right? Narrated by David Attenborough.
Great.
It's a great one.
Great talk.
So let's say, and the question arose in my head because I was watching the episode on primates where like they're showing, you know, primates from all over the world, and specifically they're talking about like orangutans, and like, you know, these guys are fucking living a solid life, bro. They're jumping from tree to tree in some of the most beautiful forests and pristine lands in the world. They're at the top of the food chain. Nobody's really hunting them, or you know what I mean. They don't got to worry about being hunted or eaten or killed, and like their only concerns in life are eating, shitting, sleeping, and if you're lucky, you get to produce some offspring. You get to fucking produce some offspring. Okay, like really, I mean, yeah, they have. I mean, I argue that, you know, animals are conscious beings and sentient and whatnot, and definitely are self-aware. But that being said, their lives are simple. They enjoy them. You know what I mean? They doesn't take much.
Yeah.
If you could trade places with an orangutan or a big ass
And just
giant sea
live
turtle
that
or a
life.
killer whale or an eagle, something that's not hunted, where you're gonna live long and you're in like a fucking incredible ecosystem, but your cares are minimal, would you?
I mean, I honestly went through a while when I was actually thinking about that. Like, when I first became conscious, I was like, do I want to, like, stick around and, like, plug into the system and make this shit dope? Or do I want to go Buddha and go off to an island somewhere and just, like, live and chill and, like, just figure out about happiness and life and, like, you know what I mean?
Just kinda leave it,
go
yeah.
in your own meditative state. But I don't know. I just think it's cool. I like being a part of the community, and I like the idea of just, like, progress, and it is easy to, like, it sounds so appealing, but it's like, for some reason, I feel like human beings just have it wired in our DNA where we just, like, want to be a little bit more proactive, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, it's getting to the bad point now. Like, we're talking about the 70-hour work week where we're just working people dead, but yeah.
Yeah.
All in the
don't
name of advancement of society.
Yeah,
And-
well, how far do we want to
money.
take? Like, yeah, how far are we willing to go?
I feel like that would be good, and it would be a simple life, but with how I get excited about life is making an impact. And if I'm not making an impact and I'm just like a chilling orangutan, I'm living a peaceful life, but like I'm happier doing shit for other people than I am for myself. So if I'm an orangutan that's just chilling, I might, you know, try to find something to hunt me. You know, like I'd probably go crazy. And I think that's also wired in the human brain too. It's like you get your best highs from making an impact or providing value or content
Relationships are huge too.
and building relationships
Yeah.
and things
Providing
like that.
impact, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
so that would be a simple life. It sounds great. It sounds like a nice, chill, you know.
You would get
relaxed-
bored quick. You could
Yeah.
you could do it for a couple of years. You would start getting bored though. I
Yeah.
feel like, as a human being at least.
Yeah, but if you're a orangutan and you couldn't think of it otherwise, then you would never know
it's not,
technically.
yeah.
But
They're not
I
like,
just-
damn, I need to go
Yeah.
come up in the game real
Yeah.
quick. I need to make the bag.
I've been eating way too many goddamn bananas this week. Ain't shared no buddy. Ain't shared no bananas with nobody.
He's like,
No.
I really should start running in the morning.
Yeah. But why do I need to run for?
Yeah.
No, it's an interesting thought though, and good for them that they can live that fucking life and not have to worry about shit. Like that's dope.
Yeah, I mean, at points you envy it, right? Like, you know,
Yeah.
when you're stressed the fuck out or whatever, like, you know, you think about it, you're like, damn, I'd give everything to not have any stress or cares or worries or bills or whatever the fuck. Debt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
These guys don't have to worry about that
They
shit.
got nothing to charge.
They don't
the
know what a
game.
dollar is, bro.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
not
for
worried.
real.
Yeah, it brings a lot of unhappiness, and that's why like suicide rates are like at where they're at now. There's like a lot of societal pressure to like be successful, like a lot just riding on you. So we just got to find a way to make it more about finding yourself and less about just being a superstar in society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You could have an impact on a smaller group of people. Like if you're like really close with friends and a good impact in like 10 people's lives, like that's fucking amazing. Like if we can all do that.
Yeah, and I think too, it's just it just depends on how you perceive stress and how you perceive success, and how you and your ability to not focus on what other people are doing to get that success. So, what up? So if you are like, so if you're always stressed about your success, it's probably just because you're focusing on what other people are doing rather than like what's in front of you. And then if you're
Yeah.
always worried about like how am I going to be successful, and you're focusing on like the end result, and you're not focusing on step 1 and 2, and you're focusing on step 100, you're never going to get to step 100 because
Yeah.
you're already focusing on it and you don't know how to get there yet, you know.
Yeah.
But it's stressful. Like social media and internet, Instagram and Twitter, and what people are saying and what people are doing. Like Instagram always looks nice and shiny. What people are up to, it doesn't really show like true life, you know. So if you can perceive it in a way where that's not reality, and reality is like, you know, earning things and not comparing yourself, then you'll be fine. But you're right, it's tricky because everyone wants
Do you
to.
ever have to catch yourself in that loop?
Yeah, 100%, 1,000%.
They make
That's
it really
tricky.
easy on your eyes and like addicting to like. Keep
Yeah, no,
going back.
that's something that I'm working on right now, is not staying so plugged into my fucking phone. But there's like this thing where it's like Instagram looks so great. I just want to see what people are up to, and you know, you scroll for 2 people, and then you can scroll and scroll and scroll, and then 5 minutes
It's
goes by, and
endless.
then
It
you're
never
like,
ends. It's an infinity
yeah,
timeline.
yeah, no, it's a real thing, and then you see all these, you know, models flexing, and it's just like it's like a paradise land that's not realistic. Yeah, definitely.
And it kind of
something
makes
that-
you feel like shit because most of the time when you're on your phone, you're not doing shit.
Yeah.
So you're like on the couch looking at somebody on the beach, and you're
Yeah.
like, damn, I like that. Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's tricky. But once you become more conscious about it, and you have conversations like these with your peers, that you know, you open up about things that you are struggling with, it's easier to overcome them. But living in denial and thinking that, like, you know, being sucked into your phone all the time is going to help you out, like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You know? That's crazy talk.
Yeah.
As he's scrolling through his timeline right now, sucked into the matrix.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh shit.
Damn. Timeline hoppers. Yeah.
How much more time do we have on this thing?
Oh, this one just was stop.
Do you stop it?
No.
Is it
It
still
just
recording?
end. Yeah, now it is. That one is.
How much time are we at?
We're like 30.
Yeah.
So we're at like 30 minutes. I mean, it's enough. We can keep talking. I don't know.
Yeah, you guys can. I'm probably gonna want to start getting
Oh,
a few
getting
things
backed
around, but
up.
if you want to keep yip yapping, keep yip
Yeah, we
yapping.
can be done.